Hello, in today's podcast, we're going to talk about some of the things that I put out on the YouTube channel this past week. I put out a couple of longer form videos or horizontal videos and a few shorts on the channel, the vertical style 1 minute videos. Apparently, YouTube has opened up things to 3 minutes, but that hasn't been set on my channel just yet. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Kind of be able to stretch out a little bit, but we'll talk about some topics. I'll maybe do a little bit of playing, and if you do have any questions or anything that you would like me to feature on the podcast, please leave a comment on the YouTube channel. So these are actually on the YouTube channel as well as other platforms. All right, well, I'm going to start out with a little playing here on the changes to All of Me. Okay, so All of Me is a great tune to get some dominant seventh type sounds going and some language. So some just general suggestions to talk about on that is to understand some secondary dominance, and that's where we started out this week, which was to think about uh, four different essential chord scales for dominant sevenths. And so when you get into five of one, let's say, uh, it's all fairly built in. I mean, you can go straight into the Mixolydian and pull from that, and that's going to give you some tension as long as you're selecting some of those, four notes that are providing that wanting to be resolved, right? Now, when it comes to the five of one in the relative minor, things are a little bit different. So take this All of Me. If we try to do five of the six chord, for example, then we want to have a G sharp, right? And in our lines and in our chords, when we play the E7, that's kind of what that's about. So there, a real go-to sort of shape is pulling from the harmonic minor, A harmonic minor, and then again, we're being a little bit selective about our tones when we're outlining chord changes to suggest that harmony or outline that harmony. Now, melodic minor also comes in really handy on a lot of material. So let's say we have a three and a six chord here, but it's forming its own bit of a 2-5 kind of sound. You could pull from the D melodic minor, and then you'll find yourself fairly inside the sound of C, and only making a couple little um, changes to the notes, or really just one note. And you get C sharp in there. So when it comes to secondary dominance, that's sort of helpful to have that kind of in your toolbox, so to speak, so that you have things that you can pull from harmonic minor and melodic minor, particularly when it comes to dominant seventh uh, chords. And another one that I mentioned, which is the harmonic major, that can really give you some different sounds on the five of the one. Gives you a little more dissonance there, so you can right. It gives it a little more pull to the five of the C chord. All right, so yeah, we talked a good bit about that. That's the those are four uh, collections of notes that you can take modes from and use it in modal music as well as use them to negotiate some of those changes and work with certain harmonic kind of situations that you might find your self in as you work through a tune. So again, those are the major, harmonic major, melodic minor, and harmonic minor. So I would highly recommend working at each one of those, spending definitely a good amount of time focusing on different dominant seventh type chord scales from those, and as well as some other sounds too. But you may find with at least with jazz standards and things, there are certain modes that are going to come up, or not modes, but chord scales that are going to come up more than others. So let's think about some other things that we talked about here this week. We had mastering the chromatic and bebop line. So that was really inspired by uh, the talk by Rick Beato with Mike Stern, and I thought that was pretty inspiring. Listening to that segment of I mean the whole thing. I actually haven't listened to the entire interview just yet, although I plan to. I tend to kind of watch and small spurts, and then at some point I kind of complete them. But anyhow, so that is a real nice concept to kind of consider, which is to play a half step below uh, a, a chord tone, and then play a scale diatonic sort of tone above. So when you're playing through a tune, um, right? Let's say we get. I've talked so much about the C major seven that I don't want to kind of bore anyone with that, but hopefully you've been practicing that. So but kind of the idea is that this is a concept to run with. So if you have E7, right, we could, let's say, play half step above and below, or below and above, and then same kind of same thing, sort of surrounding that tone there. Right. So kind of encircling and using, more specifically, using a half step below and then a diatonic sort of note above the note. So you can kind of practice those things sort of separately. I would say probably the harder one is the diatonic one, because then you really do have to have some knowledge of what the chord scale really kind of is. On the half step below, all you have to do, in a sense, is mirror the chord scale that you're doing. So this is E7. Just want to go half step below, and then you kind of do that. And then one thing I recommended there um, on the video, mastering chromatic and bebop lines on guitar, is to practice going uh, on the beat and the end of the beat as you go. So right, so think about strong beats and weak beats as you move through there. Okay, so we talked about four scales to know, specifically working with dominant sevenths, and I just reduced that all down into four real important ones to work at this week, but there are others for sure, and then really also we're kind of limiting things to seven note type scales with that talk. But prior to that, I also talked about the octatonic scale or the half tone whole tone type scale. Um, in a sense, the octatonic scale, that's sort of the common name for that kind of half whole or whole half diminished symmetrical kind of thing. But really the bebop scales, they're 8-note bebop scales. Technically those are octatonic scales, right? Because they're 8-note scales. But yeah, anyway, so that's a real interesting type of scale that you can also use for dominant sevenths. And this is such a fun and interesting area to focus on because you can really, really stretch out when it comes to the uh, the five chords, right? There's a lot of options, and the whole point of it is to kind of create tension and followed by resolution. And so it's kind of a fun area, right? Where it's very much not limited. All right, everybody. Well, I wanted to give a quick update and do a little bit playing here on the podcast. I have been working gradually to be able to play some of these tunes and improvise live uh, on the uh, computer here. So that's something that's been sort of a long-term goal, and I'm getting to, I think, a place where it's starting to work. It's starting to come together. So I have more things to kind of come out with here in the future. It's going to really help to speed up my production and all that. So and also just this sort of the spirit of improvisation is kind of doing things in a moment, and so recording and going back, you know, um, it's just sort of a different kind of mindset almost. So I'm trying to do that whole thing in a live kind of setting. So um, all right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed this talk. Do remember to follow on the usual social media platforms, and like and subscribe on YouTube. I am still doing private lessons and workshops and things, so check the description down below for that. Love to hear from you there, and I'm here to help. I'll mention too that this video is available to the channel members. I think I'm gonna open this one up to all channel members because of somewhat of an update type style. So, all right, everybody, thanks again. I'll see you on the next one.